student section was out early. Our fans were incredible. What an awesome atmosphere that they created. You could tell we definitely fed off that energy when we jumped out to the big lead. But ultimately didn't sustain it. We've been living on the edge with a couple of things on both sides of the ball that ultimately showed up today that cost us an opportunity to win the game. Obviously, the 2 turnovers are critical, inability to create turnovers, and our inability to contain the quarterback today ultimately led to us not being able to get the win. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
Eli, especially in the second half on some of those big runs by Daniels, do you know, was there a consistent theme, or is that a guy making plays, a great player that just made plays?
A quarterback draw. We were supposed to have a line game and didn't get into the B gap, and our linebacker was showing a pressure and turned a bracket, so we didn't have eyes in the backfield. So, that was one. The third down, we got 2 guys right there at the line of scrimmage. We just didn't get him down. He's a tough out as far as trying to get tackled. So.
Big picture defensively, you talked about that being a strength of this team entering the season. A lot of guys back. What are you seeing, week to week that hasn't allowed it to play up to what you're hoping to?
Yeah. I don't know. It goes from one thing to the next. We had a couple of zero pressures there where we have a free rusher that ultimately doesn't make the tackle in the first half. And then in the second half, we weren't able to force them into throwing the ball. We were giving up way too many yards in the run game. So we'll have to go back and look and strip it back down to 0 and build it back up. But there's a lot of football left. You got to tip your hat to them. I mean, they've got some elite players. Jaden Daniels, obviously today played as good as any quarterback I've ever gone against. He was only threw 6 incomplete passes all day, and is a tough young man. He's a really talented football player. We knew going into it that was going to be a tough out, and obviously he played really well.
Eli, what you try to get across the team afterward?
Yeah, we halfway point of the season. We're 5-1. There's a lot of season left, and it's about how we respond to the disappointment. We're all disappointed. We all wanted this game really badly, from top to bottom, from fan to player to coach. We knew what this game was for us, and didn't get it done. But how do you respond to that disappointment? And ultimately, that's what's going to determine the fate of our season. Do guys rally together? And I know they will. We got strong leaders in that locker room, guys that they're playing for Mizzou, so they're going to respond the right way and come back and go to work on Monday. We got a lot of football left. A lot of football left.
Coach, it's so natural to focus on the negatives. Can you talk about all the positives? So many big plays on offense, and you make some big plays on defense too.
Yeah, just the atmosphere was incredible. Our players responded. We played really fast early in the game. I think we held them to a 3-and-out, went down and scored, went for 2 and got it. But ultimately, as a coach, you look on the things that you got to improve in order to be better, and that's what we got to do. We got to be better, and we will be.
Eli, y'all had a lot of big plays on offense, and it seemed like y'all were scoring really fast. Was there any thought to kind of slow down and keep some ball possession?
No, I didn't want us to get out of rhythm offensively. We weren't really running the ball as effectively as probably you need to. I think ultimately what the game came down to was their ability to control the line of scrimmage running the football and easier throws, and we were kind of living on those dangerous third downs. And right there on that 3rd and 2, we tried to sub into a 12 personnel to get a run in there and snap the ball early, cause a false start, and ultimately lead started to loss. So no, in shootouts, which we've been in before, you got to do whatever it takes for you to score. And we would have had the ball last, with the opportunity to get it in, but we just came up short.
The snap infractions have been a thing that happened a few times this year.
Yeah.
Can you explain what's going on in there?
I don't have a good answer for you. Something that we got to continue to work on.
Eli, did you get a good look at how the ball came loose with Brady on that fumble? It's a little hard to see even on replay.
I did not get a good look at it, and I knew we still had 3 timeouts, and so we needed to go for it on 4th down because I know, with 1:06 left to go, that we would ultimately be able to get the ball back, which we did. It worked out the way I kind of expected, so didn't have time. The only call that was missed was the illegal hands to the face or a face mask, and if it wasn't a face mask, it has to be roughing the passer. So. in the fourth quarter, on 10 minutes left to go on that drive.
Coach, what did you lose defensively when John Walker got ejected?
Yeah, that's disappointing. Not representative of the way we want to play this game, and we got to respond better on our players. It starts with me as the head coach. But we lost a defensive pass rush player, a guy who's been playing at a high level for us, and that's something that, as a team, we can't do. We can't beat ourselves, and we can't let our emotions get out of control, out of check.
What did they tell you on that misplaced pass?
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
Eli Luther was fairly involved in that first half, and then the second half didn't get as many touches. Just kind of what did you see that LSU did, maybe taking away in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to get him involved. You know, I mean, he had the big play right on the last touchdown. So they didn't do anything.
How do you evaluate Brady's day overall?
Yeah, he's tough. Obviously, there's 2 plays, maybe 3 plays he wishes he had back, but you don't have him back, you know, and so he'll bounce back, and we'll all bounce back, you know. Obviously, nobody had the day they wanted to in order to win the game. Like, everybody has to improve from top to bottom.
Coach, what makes Neighbors such a difficult threat to defend? It seemed as if his second half, the ascent there in the second half went hand in hand with what Daniels was able to do going outside the pocket downfield.
I mean, it starts with the quarterback. If you try to put an extra guy in the box to protect the quarterback, you leave him in the slot with the whole field able to run. And I thought we did. I thought KD did a nice job on a couple of red zone throws, you know, red zones. And, you know, our defense, I told them all week we needed to have some red zone stops. We forced a missed field goal. We forced a field goal. You know, ultimately what it came down to was the turnover, the interception in the second quarter, and then that last interception. And, you know, ultimately that was that interception there let them go on a 10-0 run, which is ultimately the difference in the game.
Did Brady you saw him leave and come back, did he get checked out during the game?
Yeah, I really don't know. They just told me he was going in and then come back out, so I'm not sure.
What was the disconcerting signal stuff going on? What was that about?
I don't know. That's a crew that calls that a lot. So,
Coach, penalties keep being a bug for you guys. 11 this game. What are you going to try to do moving forward to address that issue?
yeah, it's like I said in the opening statement. We've been kind of living dangerously on a few things. You know, third downs, turnovers, penalties. We're halfway through the season. Everybody's got to take a gut check and say, okay, this occurred. This was what caused us to lose. So how do we go back in and fix it? And you got to take the disappointment and take your pride and ego out of it and say, okay, how do I come back and improve? And starts with me as the head coach and figuring out what's the best way to improve our discipline so that we don't commit 11 penalties.
Coach, what do you think of the offensive line play tonight?
I mean, I'll have to go back and watch the tape. I thought obviously we were able to create some rush lanes. You know, late, obviously that late sack is on my mind, you know, so we got to figure out what that was. I don't know if we had some sort of option route to the field. I don't know if we were holding on it too long or what happened exactly on that one.
What do you think of the day Coach Schrader in the running game? How do you have that long 50-yard rush?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really disappointed for Cody because he pulled his quad on Wednesday, and I didn't think he was going to play. And man, he impresses me every day with his relentless toughness and his fight and what he believes about himself, but also this university. And man, that was a gutty performance, and just disappointed in myself. I didn't do a better job getting him the result he deserved.
Time for no more?
Coach, does the outcome of this game at all affect the way that you guys approach next week, or the way that you go into this game and try to fix things?
No, we try to be 1-0 every week. You know, no matter what, win or lose, you got 24 hours, and then you got to go back to work and fix it. You know, the only thing I told our team was, every team that plays in the East, we still play. So we control our own future. We control our own resolve and what we're trying to accomplish this year. But we got to go in there and fix some stuff, because today wasn't. I mean, we played a really good team, but today in the fourth quarter wasn't winning football.
Coach, on that last, that go-ahead touchdown by Neighbors, what kind of happened in the secondary, kind of leaving that open?
Yeah, they had it looked like we'd been playing a lot of cover 3. They ran a glance and a wheel. Quarterback kind of rolled to the right. We got eyes in the backfield. Flat defender's got to turn up with that. And when the quarterback rolled to the right, he kind of lost his zone vision on who his guy was and ultimately left it open.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.